everyone. Welcome to the interview. I'm Adam.
I'm Josie.
I'm Peter.
And Josie, you started laughing at that every time I do it, but I've been doing it like the entire time we've been doing the show.
You said it very fast that time.
Yeah, well, 'cause what happened was we ended up, I have my Kaspersky
If I do it every time, why do you have to draw attention to it every time? Jesus.
Every time it's funny. But no, what
Yes,
happened
it is. Every time it's funny. Leave me alone.
as I was hitting the go live button, my Kaspersky came up. It's like, do you want to register your product? I'm like, I haven't wanted to do it since I bought it. Why am I going to want to do it now, kind of thing? So,
why don't you?
I don't have a reason to.
You're supposed to register your product.
Matter. It's not a big deal. It's like being able to access your product key. I'm not like stupid. I'm not going to lose my product key for my antivirus. It's in a box. I didn't know
what
if
you
issue
do?
People had. So, let's see. What do we have to talk about this week? There were alleged new DC leaks about what DC is planning to do. But first, let's go with the story that I don't have to wait for Internet or Chrome to open up for. And that is they are allegedly going to be making a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child movie.
Yeah.
And they're actively trying to get back Daniel Radcliffe for the movie.
And put him in old people makeup again?
I don't think you'd need to, because I think it is like 19 years later.
I guess that's close enough.
Yeah. Okay.
They should just film the play and then just put that in a movie. Make that like a fandom event.
I don't think that's... I think they're going to do that anyway.
They probably wouldn't. They probably would make money off of it just because of fandom.
Well,
yeah.
They can release anything.
But I don't want to. I still don't.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand how that play would like transmit well to the stage, like after reading it.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. You want actually? Let's do a review of that now.
It's heavily special effects driven.
And we didn't do a spoiler review of that because we were waiting about it. But we can talk about it now. So who wants to talk about Harry Potter and the Cursed Child first? Actually, let's have Peter go first because he didn't give any thoughts on it because he didn't read it yet.
So yeah, I read it last, but I also read it in like 3 hours. Like I thought I wasn't. I didn't think it was going to take me. I thought it was going to take me longer, but I read it really fast.
Yeah.
And then I liked it overall. There's something that annoyed me, like they threw out all the rules that were set up for the time turner and just completely shit all over it. I also didn't like the scene where they're on top of the train with the like candy maid. I forget what her name is.
Yeah.
The Charlie Witch. That was dumb. I liked the end. I liked the alternate timeline where stuff happens differently. I don't want to spoil it.
You can't.
Don't spoil, really.
It's been a
There's
month.
a lot of stuff.
It's been a month at this point.
Okay. I like the alternate timeline where Harry dies because they embarrass Cedric too much, so then he becomes a Death Eater and he kills Neville. And then Neville's not there to kill Nagini, so then Harry dies.
Mm-hmm.
But then the time turner rules I'm talking about are it doesn't, when you use the time turner, everything you already did already happened in the past, so you can't change anything in the past by using the time turner.
Right. That's what we saw.
Because the universe just corrects itself. Yeah, in Prisoner of Azkaban, that's a very heavily featured point.
Yeah.
And then they just shit all over that. Also, when you use a time turner, you go back in time as a different person of yourself. You don't go back in time and take the form of yourself, which happens in the play, because he goes back to a different point in time where they went in time, and then he just becomes his body again.
Right.
If you're going to use
it's not like
the time turner, that's fine if you're going to use a time turner. Yeah, until you're conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're going to use the time turner, you can't just be like, oh, we're going to use it how it suits our needs, even though there's some very clear rules set up.
Would you get out of my way, guy?
Vague rules.
Sorry.
Because, like, she ended up, like, it was such a plot hole, like, in the 5th book. It's like, okay, look, we destroyed them all. Are you happy now?
Yeah.
I agree.
But then Malfoy still had one.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of plot holes. I thought it was really stupid. And it seems like they just kind of threw it together and were just like, let's mash as much Harry Potter shit into this as we can.
And then charge, like, $400 a day to see it.
Yeah. I didn't like it very much. It felt like I was reading bad fan fiction.
It did feel
the person,
like fan fiction.
Same. Not even
good.
good.
Didn't understand the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like how Ron just became
Fred.
Like Fred and George.
Yeah.
Like there was no mention of them at all, or one of them at all. And then he ran the joke shop, and I was just like, what the fuck?
And it's like, they have a very vague understanding of the dynamic, and that's it.
Like when you're doing a 2-day play, you can afford to put in like Fred. You don't need to like erase characters and combine characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like
I can't think what else.
And then like Harry acts out of character too a lot, and like what's it called? It's actually like I understand what they were going for. I said this the first time we talked about it. That line when he's like, "You will always be an orphan." Like I understand what you're going for. It's still stupid to say that though.
Oh yeah, at the end, can I ruin like everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so
there's nothing really
to
ruin.
The child of Voldemort is like, please erase my memory, so then I like don't have to live with this. And they're like, no, you're gonna go to prison.
Yeah, it's
like they're just like, fuck you and your like mental instability. You can suffer now.
Yeah, it was.
And that also sent.
Yeah, it was
not
very good.
Especially because once again, like the theme, it's like my problem with that I have this book. What I did like was that someone in Slytherin wasn't just automatically evil, but then they also because part of the theme of Harry Potter is it doesn't matter what your label is. Like you can like become anything unless you're the child of Voldemort. Then you're going to be automatically evil, or like this, and then you have no like choice. Like you're going to go to prison.
Yeah, like it was like there were issues.
Yeah.
And then like in one sentence, just like, oh yeah, she's a child of Bellatrix Lestrange.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was weird. Like they.
Yeah. Even though there's never any hint of them being that way towards each other, except like her having a huge crush on him, but that's because she's psycho and stuff. And
I think the bigger
she
thing,
has a husband in Azkaban.
I'd like to point out as well, there's one big continuity issue with this. We watch in the movie Voldemort come back to life, and Voldemort does not have a dick. So I don't know how this happened.
Maybe he magicked.
Yeah.
He magicked himself into her. Mad dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so so yeah, that was what would you rate it?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
I would say a 5.5.
I'm gonna go with like a 2 or a 3.
I'd say 4.
It was really shitty.
Yeah, like
I was really, really disappointed in it.
like, and at one point they montage through Scorpius and what's his name? Scorpius and Albus becoming friends.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Like, there's a scene that's like, and then stuff happened for 3 years.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it's like that was strange.
So yeah. So on to the big DC leaks, alleged DC leaks. But anytime these come out, it's always posted to like Reddit or 4chan, And it's always like, I can't give away my credentials at risk of being fired. But, so these are alleged leaks, but they line up with real leaks to an extent. And things that were officially announced since. So, maybe they're real. So, here is the first set. They're not making a Cyborg movie anymore. They're making a full Titans movie.
Oh no.
With Deathstroke as the antagonist. So, DC, would you want to come and pay us for that idea? By all means, we're open to it. So, we called that when Suicide Squad came out. Deathstroke was offered to a bunch of actors, but ultimately it went to Joe Manganiello.
Now I know who he is.
Yeah. The sequel to Man of Steel will be released in 2020. The name Superman will not be in the title. The villain is Brainiac. They're trying to court several different directors, including J.J. Abrams and Duncan Jones. Other characters being considered include Supergirl and Superboy. Lex Luthor will be a key character in Brainiac's new origin. The origin they have planned at the moment is Lex uses Kryptonian and alien tech to enhance Lex OS, and it becomes Brainiac. From what I've seen, though, they definitely want Brainiac in his physical comic booky form, not as some AI controlling drones or machines or whatever. That's not a bad idea. I don't think.
That's good, because then if they did it with drones, it would be too much like
Ultron. Then is Edgar Wright is being courted for a DC project. They're not trying to make Justice League feel overcrowded, but it's very clear they're working with a lot. It's going to be a long movie. They think the theatrical cut could be 3 hours. So if you thought Batman v Superman was long, like, the theatrical cut of this is going to be the director's cut length of that. So just strap yourself in.
And Batman v Superman was only like 8 minutes longer than Age of Ultron or something like that.
Yeah. Age of Ultron feels longer though.
It wasn't. It just. Yes.
Like when you get
Civil
that
War
scene on the
feels
farm
the
and you're
shortest.
like, okay, let's like get it over with. Let's go. Justice League's villain is Steppenwolf, as we all know. The League fights parademons for a good chunk of the film. Lex is let out of prison and gets the public to love him. This sounds fake, this part, by the way. He tries to manipulate the public into hating heroes like Batman and Superman, but it doesn't work. Lex helps Steppenwolf come to Earth in exchange for technology and knowledge. Lex is very manipulative and much calmer than he was in Batman v Superman. He's also much scarier. There's a funny scene after the League is assembled where the Joker and Harley are committing a crime and they expect Batman to show up. Then the whole League arrives. It's funny and the Joker and Harley just stand there like, well, shit. Later the League gets their ass kicked by Steppenwolf, but then Superman returns and weakens him. The full Justice League then works together to stop Steppenwolf in an awesome climactic fight, reminiscent of the big fight scene in the Avengers. Superman has a beard, long hair, tattered, scorched-looking black suit. It's thin at first, not as thin as Flashpoint Superman, but still thin. During the fight with Steppenwolf, you see his full strength return with each swing, and with each second he's in the sunlight. Green Lantern shows up at the very, very end of the film, and may even be moved to mid-post-credit scene. There's a full Darkseid tease at the end, but Justice League 2 may not use Darkseid as the villain. The biggest concern is comparison to Thanos, and they may hold off and use him further down the line once the dust is settled from Infinity War. Other villains being considered are the Injustice League, the Crime Syndicate, and the Society. They really want multiple villains for the sequel for some reason. Tower of Babel is also being discussed as a possible plot. And Justice League 2 will be pushed back to the end of 2019 to make room for Justice League Dark, which will have a different title to not confuse moviegoers, which is smart. Do you think they should change the title to Justice League Dark?
Wait, and that's different than Justice League 2, or Justice League 2 might become Justice League Dark?
No. Justice League 2 is a separate movie with John Constantine, Zatanna, Enchantress, I think. You know, all of them.
Okay. Then yeah, I think that is confusing.
Yeah, so they're gonna change the movie, and then I don't know how this is gonna work out. Also, there's rumors that not in this leak that they're gonna recast Jared Leto because he is.
Because he gets like Because he ruins the set atmosphere.
Well,
And like
that
no one
too.
likes to work with him.
That too. But he was really pissed after he got into the role as he did for the Joker, and then they just kind of like sidelined him after that, and he had like a scene and a half.
Well, that's his fault. That's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a Joker to be that in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Like,
How
he
did you
should,
guys like him as the Joker?
I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was a good choice.
I didn't like him. I
think
hated
a
his
good job.
laugh. Because the Joker's laugh is supposed to be, like, crazy and uncontrollable. And he's just like, ha, 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 ha. Like, that's his laugh. It's fucking annoying. It's stupid.
I don't know. I liked the laugh. I liked his
I don't know.
laugh. I thought he was, what's it called? An interesting take if you're going to have him as a recurring villain. Because you can't have Heath Ledger's style Joker, or just an anarchist, as a recurring villain. Because it's too one.
Yeah, I like he has closer motivation as a Jack Nicholson Joker, where he is the prince
The clown
of the underworld, or whatever it's
I
called.
liked that whole idea.
That was
I
close.
just hated this fucker's laugh. It was so bad.
The only thing I didn't like was the tattoos. Like, that was weird. And I don't like the dynamic between Harley
I
and the
totally
Joker.
liked that he was like. I totally thought it was cool. The way he was like Prince of the Underworld, or like you said, and his whole relationship with Harley Quinn was kind of neat, even though that's not how it's ever been. But no, I could not get over like this fucker's laugh, and like he was madly in love with Harley Quinn, like that was wrong, and he's usually supposed to like use Harley Quinn as like a toy, where Harley Quinn's in love with him.
Yeah,
you know?
That was. I think the best part with their relationship was when he crashes the car into the water,
and he like leaves her.
Mm.
and she's just like, I can't swim, and he's just like, bye.
Yeah, tough. Like,
Yeah, like that was the way things were.
Yeah.
but yeah, like so then they have leaks about individual movies. Aquaman will release in 2018, with the villain being Black Manta. Although, as far as I know, he has not been cast yet. The concept sketches do show him in the full suit, which gets me very excited. They want Black Manta to be a Darth Vader-esque character, in that his voice and presence is intimidating and terrifying even when he's not fighting. Aqualad is in it and serves his father for a good chunk of the film. He eventually switches sides and helps Aquaman. There's a cool fight scene planned where Aquaman and Aqualad are fighting Black Manta's army before Aquaman goes off to fight Black Manta at the end. Aquaman's gonna be a rough movie, I think.
It depends how well this good CGI is.
Yeah, and number one, I think they horribly miscast because they did not get James Cameron to direct this movie, like he did Entourage. Yes. No, but I think it's gonna be weird. The underwater effect is either gonna be non-existent, and it's just like, okay, just why are we bothering having it set underwater if you're not gonna try, or it's gonna be too obvious and it's gonna look bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Then comes Flash. Flash's release date is March 2018. The villains are the Rogues, led by a really creepy Captain Cold. The film is going to be fun, but Captain Cold is strange. Creepy is the best way I can describe it. He's not entirely sold on the concept, so hopefully it's something that'll work better on the big screen. He wears a sleek mechanical suit that's the same color scheme and pattern as his comic book incarnation. They noticed how fans love the Speed Force scenes in the show, and hope to put their own spin on something similar. So, that's something else. Then, I think the Rogues is a bad idea for the first movie.
I don't know enough about them.
Because it's like the Rogues are just an army of supervillains the Flash has. Like, the Top, Music Meister, Captain Cold, I think Wave's in there. And they all team up.
So it's like the Sinister Six, but for the Flash?
Basically, yeah. But the issue is, you have to introduce them all first. Like, you can't, like, go first movie and do that. Honestly, as bad as that original leak was, having them do Flashpoint with the Reverse Flash was a much better idea. Because that's self-contained. And you could introduce one of the Rogues in there, too. Now, here's about the new Batman movie. The Batman film, right now being called The Batman, although they're considering other titles, will release October 5th, 2018. The current plot has Black Mask the main villain, breaking other villains out of Arkham just to kill Batman. Joker and Harley have a subplot involving What?
That's the plot of Arkham Origins.
Yes. Joker and Harley have a subplot involving a bomb to blow up all the inmates when Batman recaptures them all, and that results in Harley leaving the Joker because of the abuse, which, by the way, is not in the movies, but whatever. And Batman trying to rehabilitate her. Deathstroke is sent in by Waller to help contain the situation so they can use them for her own means, but Batman fights Deathstroke and promises Amanda Waller he's coming for her next. Deadshot is also in it, but he leaves the asylum to be with his daughter instead of getting revenge on Batman. There's a cool scene where Black Mask lines all the villains up and asks who will join him to get revenge. This scene will focus a lot on Deadshot's reaction, making clear he only wants his freedom. Many of the villains get away in the end, with Batman promising to hunt them all down. The film will end with Batman overlooking Gotham and seeing one B-list villain yet to be decided committing a crime. That's interesting, at least. And I trust Ben Affleck. More so than anyone else in
Yeah, and we'll get to see a bunch of villains then.
Yeah. And hopefully they don't cast too many big names as villains.
Danny DeVito is back as the Penguin.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd be okay.
Except he definitely died at the end.
So,
Like the Penguins raised him from the dead.
Oh no, it's not
Yes.
like a superhero
He's
movie
zombie.
ever fake someone's death.
Zombie penguin.
No. It's like Superman Returns, but it's the Penguin.
Yes.
And now the Penguin's the new Jesus of DC. Or the Penguin can be the Antichrist.
Luke Evans was approached to play Sinestro in Green Lantern Corps. Not sure if he agreed. The film will be lighthearted and fun. They're modeling the tone after old cheesy sci-fi serials. As of right now, the villain will be Sinestro, with the tease of Atrocious, I guess, toward the end. Subject to change, however. They want to explore various Lantern Corps with this film and the sequels. I don't know enough about the Green Lantern to...
I don't know. No.
Yeah. Then comes Shazam, which they're still fucking making, for what reason, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
They want to do something... By the way, okay, so you know how Shazam works?
No.
Shazam is a little boy who screams Shazam, then gets struck by lightning, and turns into a full-grown adult.
Cool.
And being an adult is a superhero?
Well,
With, like, a
Well, he's an
superpower?
adult with super.
Yeah, he's an adult with, like, Superman-like powers.
He's an adult with superpowers, right?
So he...
Oh, okay.
But if anyone remembers that they did this in Power Rangers, and to this day is like the biggest joke on the planet, was that they had a little boy who would turn into an adult when he like became a Power Ranger. Like, I don't know why they're making this into a movie. They want to do something fresh and new to revamp Black Adam and Shazam. From what I heard, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been in constant communication about what they should do to make him better. Billy's also a huge Justice League fan, and he meets them at the end of the film as Shazam. So, cool. People who have been approached for various roles, there is Misha Collins, Channing Tatum, Milo Ventimiglia, Stephen Yeun, and Jake Gyllenhaal. Rob Lowe has been approached to play one of the villains in The Flash. I can see him playing a good Reverse Flash. Then Emily Blunt, Rosamund Pike, Alexandra Daddario, and Jessica Chastain have all been approached for various roles. Expect full trailers.
I think they would all be good.
What?
I think they would all be good.
Yeah. Well, they're all good actors.
Yeah.
Expect full trailers for
especially Channing Tatum coming off that Gambit movie.
which
He'll be the
also-
star of it.
Which, by the way, lost its director again.
Doesn't it come out like this year, like in a couple months, or was it supposed to?
It was supposed to come out in October, but they haven't started shooting yet, or pre-production yet,
Yeah.
or writing.
I hope
the
it still
script
comes out in
yet.
October.
It was supposed to come out next month. But no, that's not
What are they
happening.
just like? We're just gonna wing it in like 3 days.
Yeah. It's a student film. Expect full trailers for both Wonder Woman and Justice League, emphasizing the fun of these movies. The Wonder Woman trailer will show the villain a little bit, and expect announcements regarding casting, release dates being moved, and a few new films being added to the slate. Plans for DCEU shows and DCEU animated movies. No shows or movies will be announced. They'll just make stuff to tie in, and more. And then there's one last thing. Going off that last bit, they're planning on bringing the DCEU shows to HBO exclusively. Ideas being tossed around include The Birds of Prey, Nightwing, The Question, Phantom Stranger, Zatanna, and Dr. Fate.
I don't understand the difference between the Question and the Riddler.
The Question isn't a villain.
That's a good one then. That's a good. Is it a person?
Yeah, he's the guy. Remember
Okay.
Remember when I was watching the animated show? He's the guy without the face.
Oh, okay.
That's the Question.
She's like
Suicide-
Rorschach.
Yeah. Suicide Squad 2 will happen after 2020, likely 2021. It'll have a slightly altered roster and will not be directed by David Ayer. The DCEU has been mapped out until 2025, and the Booster Gold Blue Beetle movie is up in the air right now. They're leaning on the edge of approving it after the success of Deadpool, but they may use it as an HBO show. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I think Deadpool 2 is gonna suck, by the way. Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
You think
I
so?
think it's gonna be a lot of the same exact jokes. or
No,
same
that's
exact
not why I
things.
think it's gonna suck. I think what's gonna happen is the first Deadpool, they were kind of like, do whatever you want because it was only $57 million on the line. Now they give him a much bigger budget and be like, here. Like, here's $200 million, but we want to control
whatever
every
you want.
aspect of this. And
Or
that's
yeah, and then that could in turn make it just. They're like, well, the first one works, so try to make it just like the first one.
right. But like,
Yeah.
But like, look at the movies that have come out recently from Fox, from superheroes, like Days of Future Past.
You
was the
didn't
last
like
good one.
X-Men?
X-Men, Apocalypse, and Fantastic Four.
The X-Men Apocalypse, the greatest superhero movie
Yeah.
of all time.
I would say Fantastic Four is better. Like, but okay, because they also made Fantastic Four, and it's all the same producers, but none of those producers were on Deadpool. Because Deadpool was very small and independent, basically independent.
Just a $57 million independent movie.
Well, and it's from a major studio. But if you're talking budget for superhero movie, like, okay.
That's true.
Like, there's going to be big name actors in it. It's not going to be like, we don't know the name of the actor who did the voice of Colossus, but he did a great job. Like, Colossus was fantastic in that movie, but we're not going to get that again because we're going to get a bunch of people we already know. But yeah, it's going to be a movie. I'll give it that. It will be a movie that I will end up seeing.
It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah. And I'm going to see, I know I'm going to see it.
Well, I would
so-
think that it would at least be a movie.
Well, yeah. I hope. I'm going to pay to see it.
Yeah.
And one more news story. Batman Return to Arkham gets a new release date, which is the next-gen ports of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and that is October 21st. It was supposed to come out 2 months ago, but it got delayed.
Are you gonna get it?
Maybe. I'm debating it. So, let's move on to Beetlejuice. So, who wants to go first with Beetlejuice out of the two of you? 'Cause I haven't seen it yet.
I can go first. I might have seen it more recently.
Probably.
Alright, so Beetlejuice is Alec Baldwin and Jada Davis, a husband and wife, who accidentally drop off a bridge and die, but they don't know they're dead. And then they once you die, you can't leave your own house, and if you do, you're on this like barren wasteland where there's giant sandworms that will eat you and kill you again, I guess. And then so they go to like they draw this weird door and it brings them to like the dead like DMV basically, and like they register as dead people, and then they get like a rule book of like what to do as a dead person and like how to enjoy being dead. And then like I forgot what year, 80s I think, and these like hip New Yorkers buy their house and then like gut the entire inside and make it like crazy like 80s new wave all inside. And Winona Ryder is the daughter, and she's like very goth, and then she decides to kill herself, but then she can see the ghosts because she's so obsessed with death, so she like befriends the ghosts and they become like her step parents kind of. And then they try to haunt the people in their home like to get them to leave, but then the people love it, so they make their house like they invite people like all their rich friends over to see the ghosts, and then like everyone enjoys it and no one really gets scared by it. So then that's when they call Beetlejuice, because he's like this like basically a demon, I guess, but he's been dead forever, like a super long time, and it's played by Michael Keaton. He's hilarious because he says he can promise that he can get rid of humans, and then but he's like has
He's supposed to be like an expert scarer or something.
Yeah, he's basically like a human exterminator. And but then he sees Winona Ryder and he decides he wants to marry her. So then and then the people also decide they want to like make the ghosts show themselves by performing an exorcism. So then this all like has its climax where they're killing the husband, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, because they're going to exorcise them. And at the same time, Beetlejuice is going to try to marry Winona Ryder, because if you say his name three times, he appears, but if you say his name 3 times again, he disappears. And he has like supernatural powers, so he can like he can stop you from saying it. And it's a really cool movie because there's a lot of special effects in it, but they're all like practical or done with clay, so it looks very interesting.
Oh, so
and there's a lot of
like
forced perspective.
It's a stop motion like in RoboCop.
Yeah, like that. Like there's parts where Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis, they like transform their faces to try to scare the people. So they like rip, like they stretch their like face to like 3 feet long and like make their they make their face look like an alligator kind of. And then that's all done with like claymation. But then it like cuts to them walking around and they actually have like a mask on that looks just like that. But it's really good, and it's a really funny movie. It's one of the best Michael Keaton movies, probably.
Yeah, So, Josie, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Yep.
I think it's pretty funny. I liked it a lot. I know as like a kid it used to scare me because, you know, there'd be all these freaky little things, and Beetlejuice creeped me out. But otherwise, it's really good.
Yeah, he's also like a
it.
pervert too. Oh, Tim Burton directed it, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. How well did the effects
It's my
hold
favorite
up?
Tim Burton movie. They hold up well. It's still
Very well.
It's
I
still
know,
really
sometimes old practical effects don't hold up as well.
No, because the only parts that are claymation I remember are the face thing I was talking about, and there's one part where Beetlejuice turns into like this giant snake, and then but then the rest of it is all like real, like the person that runs their case in like the dead DMV, I forget what she died from, but her throat is like cut open, but she still smokes, so like smoke comes out of her neck like slit.
Yes.
And like
I don't think they
Beetlejuice.
do any. They only have like a couple scenes that are green screen, and the rest of it's
all,
pretty much claymation. Yeah. Which is.
And then
fun.
Probably the most famous scene is the shrimp cocktail scene at a dinner, where
Yes.
to try to scare the people, they make them do that like song where it says like daylight come and we want to go home, the banana picking song, and like they make like everyone at the dinner sing that song and like dance. And the redheaded woman that's the mom in Home Alone is the mom in this.
Oh.
Catherine something.
Catherine O'Hara?
And the husband is the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So
yeah, I haven't seen the movie.
Star-studded cast.
I bought it and I intended to watch it, and then I got home last night at like 10 o'clock and I watched an episode of The League and fell asleep.
I finished watching The League. It ends amazingly.
How does it end?
Like I finally watched the series finale.
Like, I think I saw like in the description that like they have to like for some reason what they're using to play fantasy shuts down, so they gotta keep points by hand.
Yes, but that's because Rafi posts a message to a video to the league where he's just like, yeah, there's these places where you can have sex with birds called national parks. And then they're like, what? And he was like, that bird wanted it. Like, you can't deny me that.
Gross.
And then they get banned.
Yeah, it's a hilarious show. But yeah, so I do intend to watch this movie. I have it sitting like here, but like I guess.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's not that long either.
Yeah.
And you get to see young Alec Baldwin. Like, Alec Baldwin looks completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Michael Keaton, it is his 65th birthday yesterday.
Oh, wow. Good
Yeah.
for him.
He doesn't look 65.
Yeah, he aged pretty well. Took care of himself.
So how would you rate this movie?
I grew up watching this movie and I really liked it, and like I continue liking it as I grow older. So for me, it's like an 8.5.
7. Same reasons.
Okay. So let's see. What else let's talk about? 'Cause we are short today. Like,
I actually have to go and start getting ready for work at this moment.
all right.
So,
Well, that works out then.
goodbye.
So goodbye, Josie.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Meanwhile, for us, we have coming up. Well, let's talk about what we have coming up. Me and Peter said we were going to do stuff, but that we never actually did because we got busy with other stuff.
Yeah, I moved across the country.
Yeah, and then I got promoted at work, so I couldn't exactly, like,
Yeah, now
do it.
you're a workaholic.
Yeah. It sucks.
Because you love it so much.
No. So, let me just wait for this thing to load up. Yes, I will pick up where I left off. Word. We have down here. I got the Patriot on DVD yesterday for $3.75.
That's nice. I also have the Patriot. I can watch the Patriot on DVD because I have a DVD player right now. I don't have a Blu-ray player.
What happened? I hit down one too many times, and it came down to March, and it was the Patriot came up. I'm like, oh yeah,
The Patriot.
I also got the Nice Guys. That I got 15.
That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
That was probably that was one of my favorite movies of the year.
It's been a pretty weak year though.
Mm-hmm.
So this week we did Beetlejuice. Next week we have Friday Night Lights. The week after we have Back to School. Then the week after we have Captain America: Civil War. Then we have Pick Your Favorite Robin Hood movie. And then Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Going into October. We also are at some point going to do Yoga Hoosers, maybe, possibly. If not, we will definitely be doing the Magnificent Sevens for spoilers ahead. And at some point we will be doing our, episode, commentary for sports going into the postseason. I got the magazine for that and everything. So,
yeah, having internet, that will help.
Yeah, once you
Unless
have
I go to like
internet,
a sports bar and try to have do a podcast. And be like, everyone be quiet. I'm trying to record.
I'm doing something. Silence.
No one react. Yeah, just silently watch your games.
So we'll keep this episode short this week. We'll be back possibly later this week or early next week with what's it called? Friday Night Lights, which is gonna be. I've never seen that movie, but we're gonna have to watch it for this, so that'll be fun.
Yep.
So have a good
Okay.
rest of the day.
Goodbye.